Exploring international appeal, Y tu mamá también, Nueve Reinas, and Central Station. Latin American cinema only began its emergence into the global market around the 1940s. It has now evolved into a major part of international cinema as it has transcended cultural and linguistic barriers with many successful films from a diverse range of Latin American countries. Hello, and welcome to my video essay. Today, we'll delve into what created the international appeal of three iconic films, Y tu mamá también, Nueve Reinas, and Central Station. Before we begin, here's a quick recap of each film. Y tu mamá también is a 2001 coming-of-age drama directed by Alfonso Cuarón. The film focuses on Julio and Tenoch, two friends from distinct social classes who embark on a road trip with an older woman named Lisa. Now let's shift our focus to Nueve Reinas. This film was directed by Fabian Belinsky, and it is a crime drama film released in the 2000s. The story revolves around two con artists, Juan and Marcos, who must deceive Vidal Gandolfo, a wealthy stamp collector. And finally, we have Central Station, that was released in 1988, and it was directed by Walter Salas. The film takes us on a journey alongside Dora, a retired schoolteacher who writes letters, and Josue, a young boy who has lost his mother and is in search of his father as they traverse the favelas of Brazil. Moving forward to the first point of this video essay, we first have to understand how important these films are, and we must be aware of how difficult it can be for Latin American films to reach the success that Y tu mamá también, Nueve Reinas, and Central Station achieved. Hollywood has monopolized the worldwide film market for many decades, harming many countries' film industries. As Deborah Shaw best stated, quote, "There are many Latin American films that are rarely seen beyond their country of origin or have a limited release. There are many Latin American films whose potential to do well at the international box office is never tested." End quote. Non-Western countries have struggled to compete with the high production qualities and global appeal of Hollywood films. Many Latin American countries have depended on government funding for the production of films, but government funds are not always enough to create films that can compete against Hollywood standards. With this information in mind, Y tu mamá también, Nueve Reinas, and Central Station all opted to have co-production and not necessarily depend on government funds. Luisa Alvaray mentioned in her thesis, Are We Global Yet?, the following statement: "The most common avenue for many of these companies have been not to depend, financially or otherwise, on governmental stimuli or governmental institutions. I believe the distancing from government funding allowed for these films to gain international success." Now let's take a look to the production companies of these films. Y tu mamá también was a co-production with the Mexican production company Anhelo Producciones that was founded in 2000s, and the U.S. production company IFC Films that was founded in 1999. Anhelo Producciones was created by Mexican filmmakers Alfonso Cuarón and Jorge Veralga. Nueve Reinas was a co-production between the Argentina production company Patagonic Film, founded in 1996, and Sony Picture Classics, founded in 1992. For Central Station, this was a co-production between Vida Films and Buena Vista International. Buena Vista International being funded in 1953. All of these films had a collaboration with a Western production company. ICF Films can be connected to AMC Network. Sony Picture Classics can be connected to the Sony company, and Buena Vista International can be connected to Disney. All of these being major companies with large international influence, which guarantee Y Tu Mamá También, Nueve Reinas, and Central Station to be exported outside of the respective countries. This meant that their co-production allowed for a larger audience to reach and view these films. When it came to promoting films overseas, the movies had to change their titles to be more palatable for US audiences. Y Tu Mamá También title was translated to And Your Mother to Centro do Brasil was translated to Central Station instead of Central Brazil, which would be the direct translation of the title. Nueve Reinas was directly translated to Nine Queens, giving it a direct translation just as they did with Y Tu Mamá También. The titles were not the only change when it came to promoting these films. The trailers were different as well. US trailers were tailored to fit into a stereotypical Hollywood movie concept. We can see the drastic differences from the original trailer versus the international trailer. For example, for Y Tu Mamá También, the US trailer includes upbeat music with ad and critic comments such as The Guardian, with bold red and yellow colors that display the awards the film has won. There seems to be a stronger emphasis on comedy and having snappy attention-grabbing sequences, while the original trailer has more drawn-out, unedited scenes from the movie with a focus on dramatic beats that set up the premise more clearly. Moving on to Nueve Reinas, the US trailer is very narration heavy with an action tone voiceover and explain large portions of the film in a very similar style as to Y Tu Mamá También, trying hard to market the movie as exciting and fun almost to a fault, while the original seems to advertise the movie as more dramatic, emotional, and character-focused, as we hear one of the main characters monologue about crooks and thieves in Argentina. Moving forward, the US trailer for Central Station is also narration-heavy and stated explicitly what the movie was going to be about. It also seems to put an emphasis on the awards and what the critics believe, as well as the actors and the directors involved in the film, versus the original trailer uses snippets of the film, dialogue, as well as captivating scenes from the film. It has a stronger focus on show, don't tell, and uses soft classical music to showcase the emotional state of the story. With all that in mind, we can see the alterations that have been done to the US trailer. It's almost a trick that helped cater to Western audiences, and admittedly, it worked, with Y Tu Mamá También winning approximately $13 million at the box office, Nueve Reinas winning $12.4 million in the US, and Central Station grossing at approximately $6.5 million. It is important to mention that Nueve Reinas was the only film that I have mentioned in my video essay to receive a Hollywood remake titled Criminals, and it was released in 2004. And it was directed by Gregory Jacobs. But we can now see that the original still outdoes the remake, as the remake only gained $13,543 in the international box office. Moving away from marketing tactics, the films themselves hold up to their praise, as they are beautifully shot and have interesting written plots. Even if their trailers can be deceiving to a Western audience, they don't disappoint when it comes to the actual cinematography and storytelling. In terms of the film Y Tu Mamá También, Cuarón masterfully weaves a tale of friendship, love, and self-discovery against the backdrop of politically charged Mexico. The film's exploration of socioeconomic disparities resonates globally, making it relatable to audiences far beyond Mexican borders. It tells a human story. It's an exploration of youth, desire, and societal issues that transcends cultural specifics, inviting viewers from diverse backgrounds to connect with the characters and themes. The film's innovative use of camera, such as the handheld shots and the voice-over narrations, creates an immersive experience. Furthermore, Nueve Reinas subtly comments on the complexities of Argentinian society by intertwining the personal struggles of Juan and Marcos with broader societal issues. As Deborah Shaw best stated in Playing Hollywood at Its Own Game, the film thus speaks out against a culture in which everything is measured in terms of profit and human relationships are seen only in regard to monetary value. This is a message with a global and local significance." End quote. The film becomes a mirror reflecting universal themes of trust, deception, and human connection. Moving to Central Station, Sal's film delves into the human connection. It explores themes of redemption, forgiveness, and the search for identity. It is this emotional depth that allows Central Station to resonate with audiences worldwide. The showcasing of Brazil's poor countryside and the favelas allows for audiences to connect with the idea of poverty. It is something that people suffer from globally. While grounded in Brazilian context, Central Station manages to communicate its narrative effectively to diverse audiences. Overall, one of the factors of being a successful film abroad is the visual beauty. In Y tu mamá también, Nueve Reinas, and Central Station, cinematographers Emanuel Lubezki, Marcelo Camoron, and Walter Carvalho brought the landscapes of Mexico, Argentina, and Brazil to life. The breathtaking views not only capture the characters of each country, but also add to the movie's international appeal. In Y tu mamá también, we were able to see the vast landscapes that Mexico has to offer. And in Nueve Reinas, although we weren't explicitly shown touristy spots of Argentina, we were still seeing various locations of the city. And with Brazil in the film Central Station, we were able to see a countryside that most tourists are not often able to visit. Ultimately, the international success of Y tu mamá también, Nueve Reinas, and Central Station can be accredited to the perfect cinematic combination of unfiltered realism in the films, complex storytelling, emotional connection with the characters, aesthetic brilliance, and the many global collaborations. These films are famous instances of how honest and innovative storytelling can cross cultures and delight viewers from all around the world. I would like to thank all the resources I was able to access for this video essay. You can see them right here on the screen. And thank you so much for listening.